Um,
Oh yes, we are now live. Hello, everybody. It's I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm
we
coming
weren't
at you.
live?
Oh yeah, we're live right now. I'm coming at y'all today with TechOps over here, and we are about to have some adult beverages. And he's got
Mine's
the
kind of a
Fireball.
kid beverage. I think this is for, you know.
This is a large glass. I may regret this in a little while.
Did you just pour the whole bottle in that glass?
No. There's still some left. But it's not every day that I get to go live. I don't think outside of guidebook. Oh no, I went live with you that one time. Was that live?
That was live.
That was live. So we did.
Yeah, we had like 48, 50 people live that day.
Oh, that's legit.
That was the first episode of the Ops Report ever. So that was
How
great.
many episodes you up to?
I'm working on number 3. I've been kind of going on, not doing the Ops Report on the King Tech Ops channel on Twitch, though. Playing a couple games. We did the Observation Lounge, where we just watched me trying to build a transition in the video pad editor. So I don't know. In order to get affiliate on Twitch, you have to go live for 7 unique days in a 30-day period. You have to have 500 minutes, 50 followers, and something else. So,
I am one of those followers, so I'm glad.
Yes, I appreciate that. Anybody else who wants to head over to Twitch, and it's King Tech Ops. If you would give me a follow, I'd love it. We're going to be doing some awesome stuff. I like to put a lot of effort into the actual Ops Reports episodes. And then in order to get the affiliate status, I've just kind of been going online. There's been 9 people that check in. The Ops Report, I go ahead and promote pretty heavily. But if I'm just going live late at night after I've got done Uber driving and I'm tired, but still, have the will to play some games and hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that. I love that. We have Smooches in here. What's going on, Smooches? How are you, babe? You are the best. Bambolin's Camping. Got Brendan Z, gentlemen, everyone. So this is someone. Justin's asking, are you cosplaying? It's just like your normal getup, right?
Yeah, actually. So I found Ready Player Me, and I built myself an avatar for VR chat. Not that I'm so, not that I dress a whole lot different. I love the hats and everything when I go live and whatnot. But this particular outfit matches my VR chat avatar. So
nice.
I've worn it on the Ops Report. I'm not sure if I did it for both episodes. Definitely the one that you were on, though. Yeah, so I figured I'd throw it on for the Chavez podcast.
Thank you. It is a very dapper look. You got and it's not like a scraggly beard, like it's like a wizard, like crazy, like whatever grows. It looks very well maintained.
Well,
do you use Manscaped?
I have a beard iron. It's like a curling iron, but it's a beard iron.
No way.
Yeah, it's like a brush that has heating elements in it, so you get it nice and straight.
Oh, all right. I guess Justin only said that because of my shirt. It says getting fit for cosplay. As I'm totally going against, because I have a bunch of whiskey here, and as I told you before, I just went and I bought donuts and milk. They're milk chocolate chip cookies. So it is
getting fit, huh?
Nothing but sugar today. So there's a movie. I don't know if it came out already. The guy from Better Call Saul, the guy that plays Saul Goodman.
Okay.
He is like, I don't know, 50 something, maybe 60 something, and he's supposed to play like this dad that just like loses everything. Like something happens like at work, and he gets fired, and like his wife leaves him or something, and then he just people try to rob his house, but they don't realize that he has like no money anymore because he got fired and his investments are tanked, and like his wife is leaving him and taking the rest of his money. So he just like goes on and it's just like a dad that's like about to risk it all.
We've all been there.
Yeah, and I'm thinking like he said that they asked him to get like jacked for it, to get like ripped. And he's like, no, this is supposed to be like most dads in their 50s and 60s, they're not ripped, they're not jacked to the hills, they're not like Chuck Norris type of people. And so he wanted it to be real. I was like, oh, that's really interesting.
That was a cop out right there. I would have said something like that. No, I can't get jacked, but because I just the
What would it
motivation.
take? Because I mean, you're not fat by any means, unless the vest hides it really well. You look really good. What would it take for you to go and just like start like pumping iron, like old school, like Arnold Schwarzenegger stuff?
Usually I start doing the exercising when I have a nice female on the line and I'm reeling her in.
Yeah.
Then in order to keep that going, I'll do some fairly strenuous yoga or whatnot. And it can when I do exercise, I do kind of swell up like fairly immediately, but if I want to go Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'm going to have to use some Schwarzenegger methods and grab some steroids because I'm an old man. I need testosterone. It's not like I was when I was young.
I even feel it now at 30. It's like, this is different when I was 20. Like it's a little different. Did you ever show any of your female callers the either the Guidebook Gaming Show or things in Earth 2? Did you ever convert any of them to be Earth 2 citizens?
Okay, so funny you should ask because there've been a couple that I've told about it, and no matter what, they're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. What's Twitch? What's Twitch? I'm like, look, you just need to do some research. How am I supposed to humble brag if you can't, if you don't know what Twitch is, if you don't know what Earth 2 is? I mean, I'm the guy, all right? They're like, no. Oh, we know who you are.
Yeah, so I had this really it was fun. It was interesting. She was a nice lady. And I hate how sometimes people, they like judge others just for not knowing certain things. Like, so as I was in the store, I was doing the self-checkout thing and I'm about to leave, and I guess I have my phone and my wallet and and my keys and my sweatpants. They don't like, if I have a lot of weight in them, like wallet and phone, they fall down. So I'm holding everything, and the lady next to me that I guess can't see my face because I'm all like this, like getting everything, and she's like, "Excuse me, ma'am, do you want a bag?" And I was like, because there's no bags anymore, and I guess she saw the nail polish. And I was like,
and that booty, huh?
Yeah, that booty, I guess. So I was like, no, I'm good. Like I didn't correct her. I was like, no, I'm good. And she's like, oh, like she got like frightened almost, like startled. and then so I think she just asked this out of curiosity. It just might have come off a little like mean. She's like, what's with the nail polish? And I was like, yeah, it's emo. And then she didn't know what emo meant. She's like, oh, I think my granddaughter's that. Yeah. And then she says something. I'm like daydreaming. Like,
did she ask you what your pronoun was?
No, she said something like my granddaughter likes blah, 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 and then I was just daydreaming, just out of I couldn't hear it. I was like, oh no, like emos, I like emotional. Like I like Black Veil Brides and Sleeping with Sirens, and then you could tell that her like she was like JD when from Scrubs when all the girls mentioned shoe shopping. She's like shoe shopping. And then it was like, so okay, like like My Chemical Romance. You ever hear that? It's like, no, my daughter wasn't into that. Her daughter was like in her 40s.
Right.
All right, because again, she's slightly older, and so her granddaughter's like maybe like I don't know, in her teens or whatever.
Look, I'm 45. I'm into My Chemical Romance. I sing.
Yeah.
Was it Panic at?
Panic at the Disco.
Panic at the Disco. Yeah.
And just get 69 Roadouts. Everyone comment nice down below for that 69 reference. So yeah, I thought that was really, really funny.
It's weird. It's weird because the age or the generational, it's there's just certain things that don't cross those generational lines. Because I know that there's tons of younger people that are, and even younger women that are like into these beards. Like I was like, oh, I can grow an awesome beard. Check this out. But you know what? Every age appropriate woman that I talk to, I'm like, hey, how's it going? I'm not into beards. I'm like, what do you mean you're not into beards? This is damn sexy.
Yeah. It's like my girlfriend loves my beard. But I know that her parents, I know that her parents wouldn't. I know that the only thing, because her parents are kind of old school Italian. They're like, her mom's like 78, her dad's like 82. And I'm thinking like, okay, well, the first time when I was going to meet her family, I shaved. I think you might have remembered that, where I shaved, and then everyone's like, unsubscribe, no more glorious beard leading us to greatness. And then she's like, oh, why'd you shave? I was like, well, I'm about to meet your family. You know, we're going to the Poconos and we're going to spend New Year's there. And she's like, I don't understand this. It's like, so she likes it. But I knew her parents did. I don't know what the age range would be, but it seems like mostly maybe women in their maybe 40s, because she's 40, she's 47 now. So she's not like 20, but a lot of, I think like 25 to 35, maybe 40, they like the beards. What do you consider age appropriate for yourself?
Okay, so I've historically been into slightly older women. Like my the current one that I have a little focus on was actually a gal I dated when I was 19, and she was like 27. So let's not do the math and say how old she is right now, but she looks absolutely amazing still, just nice. Absolutely beautiful. And so I've been hitting her up and throwing all my cheesy stuff at her, trying to break through the doesn't like the beard barrier. I think it's going to take some work, but I know what it takes. I can throw it out there. I got game.
Yeah, for me it started, I was going over this with a buddy I guess over summer, where he was saying like, yeah, man, because he's not even like, he's in his 30s and his wife's in his 40s, and I was like, oh, dude, same. Like I'm 30, the girlfriend's 47, and he's like, yeah, like I guess a lot of girls get a little self-conscious when they get older, but for me, I knew when I was like 17, my friend Tyler just graduated high school, and his aunt that like was not doing anything special. His aunt was just she was in jeans and a sweatshirt, but she was like 38. She was drinking a beer and she was playing the original Mario Brothers. And I was like, this is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. And that's what got me started. Like, when did you know? When did you know that it was like, oh, older women got it going on?
Obviously, when I was 19, dating a 27-year-old, that started it out, and then it didn't quit. I mean, the wife, the ex-wife was like 7 years older than me for 23 years. So, but no, I mean, it was fine. But that's not to say that I haven't dated, same age, younger, maybe, too much younger. I mean, very legally. but
yes, of course.
But like, no, I feel like the ones that have worked out may have been, just a slightly older,
Yeah. All right,
and
so
of course, at this point, I'm like, hey, look, now I look older than you, so there's not a problem.
So what I think maybe you might need is like a 25-year-old gamer girl that already has Twitch, that can get into Earth 2 and get in. Like, where do you have most of your properties?
Okay, I think Nicaragua at the Eye of Ra, Momotombo volcano. That's where I have most of them, but it's kind of equally split up between Lesotho, Nicaragua, and Central.
Okay, so you have and where would you have her get? Like for her, like getting into the, like, would you just be like, hey, you're on your own, or just be like, come over to Nicaragua and the Eye of Ra or Chaveztopia or down below or wherever?
Oddly enough, I love the Eye of Ra. It has so much special meaning to me, and I've already brought several people, that I know, outside or like locally. Brandon, come on, you need to find a new place. Get that stuff on the way. I would totally get him into the Eye of Ra. There's Mr. Green is actually one of my really good friends in real life. He lives, like 10 minutes away from me, and he has just built so much awesome stuff. He's come up with the ideas for the Anubis, the Nefertiti, the big scarab, and everything at the Eye of Ra.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, we kind of built it all together. I think he did Nefertiti mostly all by himself, but we built Anubis together, and he kind of outlined the big scarab and everything there. The only thing I really did at the Eye of Ra was there's obviously the giant Eye of Ra or Eye of Horus, or it's kind of a combination. I've been told that I got something mixed up. It's flipped the wrong way, or it doesn't have the pupil
really?
in the right. Yeah,
That's close enough. I knew what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd get people in there because regardless of the fact that there's not really a town around, it's a volcano, and I can think of so many things to do in that volcano. I mean, imagine Oliver Jones standing on a stage as a 400-foot avatar, and the stands are just the interior of the volcano where people are watching from.
That'd be great. And people forget that yes, things are virtual reality, and there's some things that maybe you won't be able to, but there's some things that you can do that you wouldn't be able to do in this life, like fly, or like you can mess with the physics, or make yourself 400 feet tall, or stand in lava. Like that type of thing is there's gonna be so much fun to play with that I can't wait.
Yeah.
Have you seen, Justin was asking about conspiracies, have you tried to go on Earth 2 and look at any of the, like, oh, how far do they let me go down into Area 51? How far do they let me go down into like the Vatican and stuff like that? Have you tried to see any of those?
Yeah, actually, I've been in there, and I wasn't necessarily impressed. I mean, does it have more detail than like the Google Maps has?
I don't know. I mean, they partner with Mapbox, so it's probably using the same thing. So probably not. It's probably the same amount of detail. I know it stops you at some point, at least for Google Maps or Area 51. You can only scroll so far.
Really? Okay, because I did buy some Nazca lines in Peru too, and
nice.
Those show up real nice. Yeah, I'm all in for the conspiracies. It's weird because I got in really early, and there was so much available when we were in December and buying tiles, and like I went to the Eye of the Sahara because I'm a real big believer that that's where Atlantis was. I mean, it's obvious that the concentric circles that could have had water land. They're perfect as far as, was it Plato or Socrates's definition or description of what Atlantis looked like? It matched perfectly right at the Eye of the Sahara there. So I went in there, and there wasn't a whole lot of people that had bought there, but I was like, oh, I wanted the whole thing, so I left it alone. And in the coming months, like thousands and thousands of people just bought thousands of tiles. I could have owned so much of that and then, made a killing on lit, but nope. In the beginning, I had no idea what was going on with Earth 2, and I wanted my own areas or something that was, not encroached upon by people. And it wasn't until a little bit later where we realized, no, you want a good player density. You want people around you. You want, a lot of whatever going on.
Yeah, you want stuff going down.
Yeah, if you have a good amount of tiles in the area, then you can build whatever it is that you're going to want to attract people to that area. But you want the people already there with the tiles. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I can't wait to be able to go and maybe have them partner with other things. Like, we're pretty sure that they're buying drone, or they bought drone for them to announce that. Have you ever taken a look into Ecomi, the stuff that I stream about a lot on YouTube?
You mean as far as Veve and the Ecomi token and everything? Yeah. Yes, I've looked into so much of that, and I've never been able to get a single blind drop.
Damn.
I try all the time too. I hit that button and it's like, sorry.
It's hard. You got a lot of hundreds of thousands of people going for not a lot of comics and not a lot of drops. There's going to be.
I do want to say, I saw Legacy of Bermuda in here. Victims Lover. He gave me a DeLorean, which is awesome. So I actually have something in my Veve wallet or my collection. And then the other night, Egro gave me an Incredible Hulk comic.
Oh, so, sweet.
Yeah, so I've got something in there, but it's just because I keep complaining. I'm like, I never get anything on the drops. So yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I don't even know how many. I think I completed 40 because I've gotten to the point now where I've like run out of money, and I'm having to sell like my duplicates to continue completing sets. So I got 44 sets. I just completed the Harley Quinn set.
Wow.
Yeah, but I put a lot. Goal is to be the King TechOps of Veve. The King Tech,
Yeah.
but yeah, we're having. I don't know if you saw the Loki series. Did you see that?
I don't think I was in it. That must have been an earlier one.
It's on Disney Plus.
Oh no, you're saying the show? Oh yeah, I totally watched that.
Oh yeah. They so they're remember how they had Alligator Loki and like he had like little horns, and so they're coming out with a Alligator Loki NFT on Saturday, and I can't heckin' wait for it. They did us a huge troll too, because they had a. Let me see if I can find it without. Oh, that's a nude. That is not that is not what I was looking for. Oh, so yeah, on Twitter they posted a photo, and just by looking at it, some people are like, "Oh, it's like Dagobah, or it's whatever it was," but it was a reverse Google image, and it's like, "Oh, it's the late Triassic period, or whatever." So I was like, "Oh, dinosaurs." So many of us were thinking Jurassic Park. And then I was thinking earlier today, I was like, wait, a Ceratops, saber-tooth tiger, Tyrannosaurus, it's Morphin time, it's Power Rangers, and then they came out today as like, nah, it's Alligator Loki. I was like, that's okay, I'll still take that.
Oh yeah, no, that's great. I loved the fact that when in the Loki series they pulled out all the stops with that, the Alligator Loki, the old man Loki. I even started watching it again for like the third time the other day. So it's a good series. Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. Smooch is saying nice. Everyone from the 69 pronouns. So that was really good. I would say Ecomi's a lot of fun. That's been it went down a lot. It went down like 25% from like 2 weeks ago, like 0.0083 to 0.0059, and I just bought more.
Wait,
people get out.
Are you not a millionaire in Omi anymore?
Not anymore. I lost about. I think at one point today I'd lost about $250,000 on paper, and I was like, oof. But that's the thing. I made a video before. I said, like, guys, listen, this happens once in a while. There could be, you could have like the best stock in the world, the best crypto, the best company. It's gonna have those weird morning lulls. It's gonna have those off days, like a diner that has those weird morning lulls. It's gonna have its off days. It has happen to have an off week. Calm before the storm. Pull back. So I was like, listen. So for people that were maybe invested, like maybe $1,000 or a couple hundred, and they made a couple grand, and then they just lost a couple grand. I just try to be like, guys, it's okay. This happens. Like it happens every 10 years in like the stock market.
Okay, this is good news for me because I've been wanting to buy some Ecomi, and here's like the last several weeks I've been really just going through in my head everything that you've been talking about for Omi and for Veve, and I've just been thinking, man, Randy, absolute genius on this one, okay? Because Veve is absolutely going to take off. It's just out of this world insane. People love it. You can't even get I mean, within 2 seconds, their entire stock of everything every morning is sold out.
Yeah.
So there's no way that the Omi coin is not going to go, just through the moon. What you experienced was it shot up there. People took their profits. It came back down. It's going to, hit the next level of high, and you're going to be a 2 millionaire instead of a 1 million.
Yeah, I assume at some point we'll get that, maybe in probably next month. I'd say when we're on exchanges and stuff like that. So I'm putting everything that I can in right now.
Yeah, I mean, I've been. So I told you on the ops report that I've been doing some Uber driving, and like my favorite thing to do is preach crypto, Veve, and Earth 2 while I'm driving Uber, and it's great because I get to inform people about these wonderful new worlds of money making, but then also they're so appreciative of it. I get the main tips. I mean, it's nothing but good tips after if somebody's interested in it. I think there was comments yesterday of like, oh my God, you're a genius. This is the best ride I've ever taken with Uber.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, no, it's the best, but the same spiel mostly every time, but it's getting good.
Yeah. So how do you feel that one day, let's say maybe later this decade, maybe like 6-7 years down the road, that Tesla will have full self-driving solved, and they'll be able to go and basically outcompete Uber and Lyft by sending out cars that don't have drivers. Are you like scared about that? Intimidated? Is like, well, maybe I'll just get a Tesla and just have that do it for me.
Uber is what I'm using right now to just get a little extra cash. I have other things that I plan on being able to set me up, but no, that would actually make me very excited, because what I want is one of those Tesla semis converted into a motorhome, and just I'd be like, all right, let's go to Randy's. So we'll drive to Florida in a couple years.
Yeah.
I won't have to do any of the driving. I'll just show up at your house in my big old Tesla semi motorhome.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. I can't wait until it's all self-driving cars.
I never thought about that. I never thought of the converting a semi into like a mobile home. That is genius.
That's all I've been thinking about. Yeah, I think there's a company that is working on, just mass converting them.
Oh, that's so great. That's like that's stuff that I wouldn't think about. But that's genius. That'd be. I wonder if you could go and people, and I don't know if they would be able to do this with like live animals. I was thinking like, oh, okay, well, do it with like, if there's, because a lot of times with animal transport, if you're transporting from one location, like one hospital to another, that one of the limits that you have, whether it's you're just doing fixing felines and trap, neuter, releases, is the amount of people that can drive and transport. They could just send them in an Uber, and then they in a Tesla, and then they get there that way. I thought that would be pretty interesting.
Hey, I just want to say hi to Callum Upton. He joined the chat there. He's I think he's poking some fun, and then then joining the conversation on some Tesla stuff. So hey, Callum, how's it going? Also, and if I have not mentioned it, Smooches, I love you. Hey, Black Magic, Skip Yellow, thanks for being here. You guys are all the best. All right.
Oh, these people are awesome. I love my base. I love my base so much. So yeah, I was excited. Last time we had talked a little bit about conspiracies. Did you ever get to watch Mermaids, the Body Found, or Mermaid, the Body Found?
I didn't. I haven't watched it since then. But like, as I think back on it, I'm almost positive that I watched it quite a while ago, though.
Back in like 2012 or 2013, before.
Yeah. But being the old man that I am, I can watch a movie and completely forget every single detail of it, but know that I watched it.
I said, I love that. What are your thoughts about people like Henry Hudson, that as he was sailing that body of water before it was called the Hudson River, and had drawings of these like mer people in there that were just naked, but they lived in the water? Do you think that at some point down in our historic line, there was a couple of apes that had gone next to the water and stayed there and started eating fish and started, like millions of years ago, that had,
No,
I
think it's an entirely different species. It had nothing to do with the apes, whether it was aliens that came and have inhabited the ocean, or if they were here first. I think that there were 400-foot giants on Earth at some point. I think there were definitely mer people. I think there's some stories about Russians that went into the Arctic, that went deep into some Arctic ice, and they found some very low-level lake or whatnot. But that lake had some kind of, and these were not nice mer people, but whatever came out of it.
Damn.
A whole story about I'm not sure if it was scientific team or military team, but yeah, the story goes that they had a real rough time with these people that were in this Arctic underground lake that they found. So no, I'm all for the conspiracies. I definitely think that there's some crazy stuff that's being kept from us, whether it is the Sasquatch, the mer people, or giants, or what else is out there.
What's your favorite one? What's like your favorite thing? Or I guess, what's the one that you most believe is real, And what's the one that you most want to be real? Because I want Bigfoot.
Oh, well, I think I've watched some stuff that has pretty much confirmed in my mind that Bigfoot is definitely out there. I mean, just the things that they filmed, whether it was just the evidence left by whatever was breaking these trees and, creating these weird patterns, or the actual video footage of, they're saying, you see that right there? And like just a perfect face of something hiding behind the trees. I don't know. In this day and age, it could be CGI, but
Yeah.
I think there's been the stories for so long, and even the video evidence of stuff before CGI even existed. That I think Bigfoot is definitely out there, just very good at hiding. And in fact, there is a document. I'm trying to remember what the document's called, but anyhow, it's supposedly was created by one of the scientists at Area 51, and he just documented all the different types of aliens that they have either come across or that they know of. And one of the particular aliens, and they don't call them Bigfoot, but I swear looks like what we describe as Bigfoot. So, yeah.
So
Now, as far as the conspiracy that I really think or want or believe that it's happening, is the Agartha, is it Antarctic or the Arctic, where there's at the North or South Pole, there's a giant hole. That's the one we talked about where Admiral Bird.
Admiral Bird. But I think that was in the Arctic, though, right?
One or the other, but I believe that there's supposed to be, entrances on either pole.
On both.
Yeah,
that would make sense. And I'll let you get back to this because in the military, we have bases down there. Even though like no one country can ever claim Antarctica as its own, that's part of the reason why I built Chaveztopia down there. But there's a bunch of scientific teams, and I had a buddy of mine that went down there and said that it's just mostly cold and it's mostly like, whatever. You don't really want to venture out. But even if you did want to venture out, there's security forces lined up around the perimeter. They won't let you. And they say that in one of their safety briefings, or in a couple of safety briefings, don't go there because there were some airmen back in the day that went and they like never came back and the search party couldn't find them. So that could be another conspiracy, like, oh, they were killed and they, whatever. But
a very convenient cover story for keeping people from doing anything that's dangerous. We wouldn't want to do anything risky or dangerous, right?
So either that's true, which I guess kind of makes sense when you're in the military. We can kind of sometimes be stupid every now and then, but also like there's a chance that they're hiding. Are they afraid of us discovering something that's down there? So maybe that's one of the reasons why we're not allowed.
Yeah, no, I mean, and again, the whole CGI argument can be put in, but I've seen some videos where it looks very convincing that there are pyramids in the Arctic. There are, spaceships that are covered up, partially by ice that they have, done a really good job. And I think some of the military bases are even right there where they've, done all kinds of stuff just to try to cover up what you're seeing there.
Yeah. I wonder what else did Colonel Byrd say when he went there?
So like the main part of the story is literally that his plane was tractor beamed into the opening, and he was brought into an underground world where there was all kinds of different like prehistoric animals. It had its own source of light. It was like a mini sun or something down there. It was very habitable region. Different types of people or aliens were living down there. I mean, just an incredible story from a very credible source that and that's got to be why they've halted everything, because once several credible people find out that you can get to some place like that and there's more than we're being told, then
Yeah.
that's out of the bag. So just 50 countries signed the treaty. They're like, look, you're not allowed to explore Antarctica at all. You go there, you'll be arrested, put in jail forever, because we don't want you to see what we've already seen.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think there was a story on Reddit, and I don't think any of my friends had ever seen something like that. But there's a story on Reddit that there was this team. I think they were Army, and most of my friends are Air Force. As the Army said, they were going between forward operating bases, on a convoy, taking just like supplies from one base to another, and there was a firefight, and during the firefight, it was next to, I guess it was maybe like a mile, half a mile away from some caves, and they heard a scream, but everyone heard it, and I don't know, whatever you want to call them, the Taliban, ISIL, whatever, is like dipped out. It's like, nope, we're going away. And I was like, okay. And they heard the scream, and apparently there is a Bigfoot-like hairy monster. And I forget what it's called on Reddit.
It's called the Kandahar Giant.
Oh, is that? Oh, you've heard this. You've heard this before. Okay.
Yeah, the Kandahar Giant. It's like half of like a squad of Army dudes before they had to send like another squad in there, and they were finally able to kill this Kandahar Giant. And then they loaded the dude up on a pallet, and I guess the thing had to weigh in excess of 800 or 1,800 pounds or something. I'm not exactly sure what the numbers were, but yeah, just bullets just almost bouncing off of the thick skin of these giants.
Like a bear.
Yeah, like I think they were saying that might be the reason why we actually exited Afghanistan, because of situations like that.
Oh, that's now, and you're over in what part of the country again?
Arizona.
Is there? Oh, so I know you guys have a what do you call it? A bunch of Indian reservations over there.
We do.
Is there any like local lore? Like, what are some ghost stories that you guys have down there that we might not know in the Northeast?
The big thing about Arizona that I think I heard immediately when I got to Arizona, and I don't know if they talk about it a whole lot anymore, but it's the Lost Dutchman's Mine, supposedly up in the Gold Canyon region, and I forget what it's the Superstition Mountain Ranges, obviously. There was this Dutchman gold miner that had found this amazing gold mine, and was pulling all kinds of gold out of it, but kept it a total secret. If there's been so many stories, I guess, of people who have traveled up into the Superstition Mountains to try and find the Lost Dutchman's gold mine, and if you even try, dead. Just you're dead. Yeah.
Like, how many people try at once, though? Like, if one person, like, it could kind of explain that, like, they, whatever. But if, like, a team of, like, 12 go, I wonder, maybe they're live streaming it somehow. I don't know. I'd be very curious to try to do that.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure if it's been done in recent years, but here's the thing that I kind of think about a lot whenever the idea gets in my head, like, well, I want to go, see if this is real or whatnot. The government has put the lockdown on everything. I mean, you literally, there's certain places you can't go, and even if you are able to go to these places, you can't dig or disturb the natural habitat or whatnot. Because supposedly also one of the cool things that I read about is in the Grand Canyon. And I'm not sure if it's part of the Arizona Grand Canyon or whatever other state it connects to. But there's Egyptian ruins inside the canyon. Yeah. No.
Are there pictures of that?
I think so. I think on the internet there are pictures of people in the Grand Canyon, and I believe they've got it just like caged off, and then you're not allowed to go there. And if you try to go there, helicopters will swoop in on you or whatnot. But it's just in a remote part. But, giving credence to the fact that whatever civilization, whether it was the Egyptians or whether, it was some other civilization that built the Egyptian civilization, had traveled the world. I mean, there's pyramids on every single continent. And what is that? Just a unique coincidence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird how people, like, if you could make the argument that those are either aliens that did that, or those were, because I mean, it gets similar to the fact that some people from like the 14 or 1500s or I guess even later than that, they brought birds over to America because they believe that every bird mentioned in like Shakespeare's play should be brought in America. So like sparrows are invasive species. So just in that same breath, that people want to spread what they think is good. And whether the pyramids themselves are probably just, benign, but they think like, oh, everyone should worship these pyramids or whatever. So they go to every continent and build them.
Yeah.
What's something that you would take to, let's say, like Mars? Let's say like we go there and there actually, let's say, are people there, or there are beings there. What's something that you would take?
That I would take to Mars?
Yeah, that you would like bring them, show them. Would it be like instruments? Would it be like some doobies, some like Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, some LSD?
That's an interesting question because, like in my mind, I'd be more interested in hearing about what they got for us. Yeah, I mean, I would feel a little, I don't know, maybe handing them a doob would be like, have you guys tried this? Obviously, you guys have tried this. I mean, you guys probably brought this here and planted it, and like I think I watched I don't know, maybe it was Cyanide and Happiness comic. Have you ever seen those?
I love those guys. Yeah.
Or something. There was something. Anyhow, there, like one of the angels was talking to God, and he's like, yeah, no, I mean, they're very depressed down there. There's, just all kinds of anxiety and everything. And God goes, what? What are they doing with the marijuana I gave them? I mean, that was what it was for. And they're like, they made it illegal, sir.
Yeah, so, I love those.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so I'm not sure what I would bring. I'm looking around my room trying to figure out if there was anything that would be sufficiently impressive to bring up to. No, in my mind, I think an advanced civilization already knows everything that we got, and they've got better stuff that I just want to see, for myself what they got.
And I thought that'd be pretty cool. I was just thinking more along the lines of, I forget what it was called. I think in like the 70s we launched it into space, and it was how to say hello in every single language, and there was music on there, and there was speeches.
Was that the Voyager probe?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, and then it has and of course the guy who did Cosmos, totally
Neil deGrasse Tyson or Carl Sagan.
Carl Sagan, yeah.
So there's two of them.
Carl Sagan was actually the one who designed the inscription, I think, on there.
Oh, wow.
Probably did, a lot of the stuff that was on the golden disc, that said hello in all the different languages and whatnot. So, yeah. No, I'm a firm believer that, the aliens were probably just watching that go on by. And they're like, those guys, they don't know we've been watching them for years and years and years. Hundreds of thousands of years.
I wonder what they think of us. I wonder what, I mean, that goes into the Fermi paradox of like, well, if they're out there, where are they? So I think they could probably be among us. I think they probably come back every now and then. But I don't know if there's like a whole bunch of races of them, if there's one race of aliens, or if there's like, it's kind of like we have on Earth. Oh no, there's different types. There's Asian aliens and there's Caucasian aliens. I don't know. I'd be curious to see if there are different races as well.
Yeah, I kind of feel like there are a variety of races of aliens, and some with different abilities to transcend the dimension or the density that they're currently living in. I don't know how familiar you are with like they say that there's like 12 or 13 different dimensions and densities that you can transcend through, and you get sent to the planet Earth to learn some particular lessons. And at this point in time, in the history of the planet Earth, we're all experiencing so much, and because it's so crazy right now, they're trying to bring not only the Earth but everybody that they can on the Earth up into the fifth dimension, or the fifth density, to just enlighten us.
Because I mean, if you have just a point in time is really nothing, then you have draw too long. Okay, so yeah, if we're in the third dimension, I mean, and we imagine the fourth dimension as time, I guess you could dimension hop and go to another place in time. There's a video called "Imagining the 10th Dimension." It's like a half hour long, but it's really good, and it just imagines the 10th dimension. Like, how do you get there? It's like, oh, this is really cool. So like 12 or 13 dimensions, that would just blow my mind, because I don't know how you get there, how you do it. I guess maybe it'll be solved in string theory one day. I don't know. Did you happen to have any? Quan Scorpio was talking about ghosts. Do you happen to have any like weird hauntings down there, or are you pretty lucky and it's like, nah, we're good?
So I know that Arizona has several haunted places, but you know, in all of my life, I have never experienced anything ghostly or whatnot. Had several other types of experiences. Let me hit this again.
Get it?
Yeah, several other types of experiences. I believe that humans are capable of a lot more than what we currently do, or what is the accepted limits of humanity. I've literally seen, and I have friends, acquaintances in a different state that have done telekinesis type stuff, and have also done so there's this Indonesian martial art called Merpati Putih.
Okay.
And there's a particular division of it that's called Getaran, where these people are able to see without using their eyes, literally by like using their hand to scan things. And they teach it to the Indonesian special forces. It was like kind of a hidden, only the royalty of Indonesia were able to learn this stuff. But then, as time went on, and modern society, whatever, and there's plenty of videos on YouTube. You can see these Indonesian special forces guys riding around motorcycles completely blindfolded on the shooting range, shooting at stuff, and hitting their target, way far away.
So it's not just like for short term, like in sense echolocate. There's a sink, there's a cabinet, there's whatever. Like long term, they can. Oh right. My god.
Yeah, no. So one of the guys, so I had went up to Utah and actually took like a 1 week immersion into this particular martial art. It's a lot of work. It is so much work, and if you don't keep up on it, there's no way for you to master the skill. But the people that were up there's like 5 people up there that are just amazing at doing this. There was one guy, they had all these colored bean bags, and they would completely blindfold him from the point of like taping his eyes shut and then putting this big black mask over his eyes. And they would just drop these different colored bean bags in his hand, and he would be like blue, green, orange, red. I mean, within seconds, and it wouldn't matter. Mix up the bean bags, do all this. I have videos of him doing this. I'll have to show you it.
I've seen one of those. I thought it was just a magic trick, because it was a magician that was doing it. He did the same thing. He put like gauze on his eyes, wrapped it around, put like a motorcycle helmet on, and like with pure confidence, like, oh, this is your card. Like, yeah. I thought it was but maybe it wasn't a magic trick. Maybe it was he could just do that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've read several books that have actually been around for quite a while, and that's what kind of got me interested in going up there to do. Is I read these books. I mean, the CIA has obviously done the remote viewing for, they had their program in the 60s, 70s, or whatnot.
MK Ultra,
or just they released the documents for the Gateway project.
What was that?
The Gateway project was actually where they went through all of the process that you needed to do the remote viewing and some other stuff. Just, I mean, very detailed description. You can look it up on CIA.gov. It's broken down, and there's I've seen several people do YouTube videos and TikToks on it that, you know, are like, look, it works. You know, you just have to do it. But I guarantee you, I don't guarantee, but it is so much work to do the meditations required and the repetitions required to build this skill. And if you don't keep up on it, you lose it. So, but okay, so I believe there's all kinds of stuff that the human beings can do. I'm really hopeful that we're in a time period that there's a culmination coming, where, you know, the planet and the species itself can, you know, go on to that next level where we're not just in a three-dimensional body and that's all there is to it. I mean, it would be terrible if this is all there is, right?
Yeah, my experience with, well, my first experience with mushrooms was I was taken out of my body, and I was in like this really dark room, just sitting in a chair, and I suddenly saw the universe. I go way past the Milky Way galaxy, way through Andromeda, and just, I don't know where I was, but I saw these two solar systems that were not unlike, they were not unlike the solar system that we're in now. And they were two, and they were next to each other, and each solar system was talking to the other one. Like, they were talking to each other. And I'm thinking like, okay, well, maybe that is possible if either one or two ways. Either just the universe is an organic being and we're just like mitochondria, if we're just little germs on it, or if there are beings that, like us, that maybe want to be multiplanetary, but they're multi-solar system, and they don't have just control of their planet, but their solar system, but the solar system next to them, then maybe that's possible. And I think that maybe I was looking into the future. Maybe I was just looking into long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. I don't know, but it was real. Like, I saw that happen, and like, no one can tell me that it didn't. And it was, I believe that in the next, probably before the end of the century, we'll be on Mars, and we'll have a hopefully a self-sustaining city on there. And I'm going to use all the money that I'm going to get with Omi, and all the money I'm going to get with, you know, whatever I can, is going to be to either preserve nature on this world, or if there's a threat to humanity or like a threat to consciousness, I would use that money to combat that problem. Because we got really lucky in how we developed. Like, if we, you know, like, sea creatures didn't come out on land until, like, let's say 10% later, we would not, the sun would get too big and it would dry up our oceans, and we would not be alive right now. Like, we would have never developed. So in the grand scheme of things, there's a very small amount of time that we have before the sun gets too big, and before, so that's what I kind of want to do.
Gotcha.
I don't know where
yeah, I mean, or, you know, that there's some definite grand plan. I mean, you're talking to a guy who spent probably 20 years as a complete atheist. Nothing but science was the right thing, and you know, mentioning that you had quite the experience on mushrooms. Same here, man. It wasn't until that I was like, wow, nope, I got to completely change my whole belief system. There's no way that this is all there is to it. And if there is, that's so boring. Why would I want to believe that anyhow? So even if there is like nothing more than, you know, the pure basic science, I wouldn't want to live in a world where that was the case either. Have you ever gone Joe Rogan and done the DMT?
I did a synthetic version of ayahuasca where you had to take, like, it looked like these like pencil shavings, and it looked like wine, and you had to eat the pencil shavings and like drink the wine. It was a synthetic version of ayahuasca, which is like, I guess not DMT, but it's like close. I don't
Okay.
actually know the difference. It's big in Peru. And I was nauseous for like 15 minutes, which sucked. And then I was like, oh, okay.
Nah.
I closed my eyes, and it was almost like augmented reality. I swear I could see the bones in my hand. I would look everywhere, and I could see, oh, there's the ground, there's the trees, my friend Erica, but there was also other stuff next to it that maybe kind of like a radio station. Like radio station and radio waves are around you, but you don't hear anything unless you're tuned into that station. I feel like what I was seeing was similar to radio waves that normally we're not tuned into it, but on ayahuasca I was tuned into it and I could see other stuff. And like, it was one of the most spiritual things that I had ever had.
Okay, it almost sounds like you had like not anywhere near a breakthrough experience, but definitely, you know, you were getting some effect from that. No, you'd be absolutely amazed at the and I don't think I've had the full breakthrough experience, but the very first time I tried DMT, there's a very distinct sound that happens as you're coming into it. And for 15 minutes, you're absolutely in an alternate dimension, and there are, you know, beings conversing with you and talking to you and, you know, feeding you information. I couldn't even open my eyes. There was just like, it was so much. There was like ribbons of light going and, you know, all kinds of visual effects, but then a very definite, not my brain talking to me, a very, you know, absolute, I don't even know what it would be, an extra dimensional being. And of course,
Did you see it or you just heard it?
okay, so the breakthrough experience is when you actually do get to see them. So I got this close to the breakthrough experience. So I'm sitting there, all of a sudden I see this shadow of a person or an entity that walks up beside me, and I was like, oh my goodness, there it is. And all I could feel was this entity going, you're not there yet. And he walked away. And like I opened my eye, there was nobody next to me, but I was like, no, I was almost there. I was almost there. But
How long ago was that?
Not more than 2 years ago, I think.
So and he didn't give you that. This being didn't give you any directions, like this is what you need to do to get ready. He just said, no, you're not ready yet.
Yeah, no, because I tried a couple more times and I didn't quite get there, but I think it's my own self that's keeping me from get there, because I think the magic number is 3 and I only did 2.
Okay.
Because it's scary. You're like, you almost you forget that, you know, you should breathe, or you feel like you're going to forget that you should breathe.
Oh, okay.
You know, and so yeah, the magic number is 3. Maybe someday I'll get there. And
I'm so curious. Like, if you wanted to, could you get that whenever like you wanted? Like, oh yes, I can call my guy over there, and you can call Dashy, and Dashy will deliver that to you. Because if so, I will take a trip to Arizona next year.
I believe I have a method of acquiring. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you got like 6 months, and then we're going.
All right.
That'd be great. Yeah, I can't wait. Because I've read those stories, and I've seen those videos of people saying, no, I've been there, and I talked to these 5 different people, and a lot of different people say the same thing. They talk to these beings, and it's like they equate it to like one of the most important experiences of their life.
Right. It has nothing to do with, you know, getting high or having a party. It's the most amazing spiritual experience, the life-changing event, you know, that it can shape your life, it can change your life, it can bring you to a new realization that you've just never had before. And believe me, I was scared to try that one in particular, because
Yeah.
I had tried mushrooms multiple times, and I would say that I'm one that can do a heroic dose of mushrooms, and I really would rather not do it any other way, because if I'm not going to talk to some,
Yeah.
higher being, then what's the point? It's
Yeah.
not about just doing that. But yeah, as far as the DMT goes, that's 15 minutes of the wildest, most intense. I mean,
Oh. And
mushrooms.
you didn't feel nauseous, right? It's just you take it, and then 15 minutes later you're back where you are, like, oh, okay.
Oh
You
yeah.
good?
Yeah, after
Oh,
15 minutes, it's like you never did anything.
that's so
15 minutes.
interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
How about
after like LSD or mushrooms, I need like
a
a
day?
while to recover. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. No, I definitely need a day after those two, and but it's nice because at least with the mushrooms, you have this effect that lasts a little while, that keeps you in a good headspace, that alleviates depression, alleviates any
yeah.
of the bad world stuff that's going on.
Okay. So in this, in the last like 18 months, 20 months, whatever, I think I've had the Rona. I think twice. I've definitely had it once.
Really?
But yeah, but because once was in January of 2020. It probably could have just been the flu, but because I never got tested. Like there wasn't a thing like to go get tested. It was just whatever. But I did get tested this January, and I did have it.
Okay.
What are
We
your thoughts?
remember. We
Oh yeah,
remember you
yeah.
having Rona. I was
That
trying
was
to find a picture of you when I did my PowerPoint when you had Corona, but I couldn't find you in the hotel room, because you spent like a week in a hotel room, didn't you?
I spent a few days in my car. It was like January was like the worst month for me, like in a long time.
Yeah.
And yeah, so there was a. What are your thoughts on any conspiracies that, like, obviously there's stuff that I think the government did wrong, and I think they definitely could have done a lot better. Can't say I'm surprised. Which way are you going with this? Or have you ever had it?
I did. Okay, my whole household had it just right after it first hit.
And how did you
So
treat yourselves when you got it?
okay, so it was kind of like multi-level, because I had like a stuffy nose from it, but we know we all had it because my daughter and her husband they had lost their sense of smell and taste, and they just had a horrible time with it.
It sucks.
But I have like a vitamin regimen that I think, as long as you keep your vitamin levels, especially your vitamin D levels, and I've heard that if you have a vitamin D level that is not low, you can either be high or just average or whatever, that it can't create a cytokine storm and cause the horrible effects or the death that COVID is known, or that
Oh, okay.
everybody's scared about it having. So
Oh,
if
okay.
you just keep taking your vitamin D, you're not going to have a huge problem. But yeah, the whole time I got a stuffy nose, and that was it.
Gotcha. Okay, good. No, good. Most of the time, my vitamin D's levels are very good, because I was deficient in it at one point, because I was working in an office and I just wasn't getting sunlight, especially in the winter. So, so I take. Ugh.
Yeah, I may have been lucky, because prior to COVID hitting, I had some naturopathic doctor come out and do all my blood work, and like he did all the blood work. He, like, from testosterone levels to every vitamin level to anything that you could possibly test for, he tested for. And one of the things that before COVID was I was very deficient in vitamin D. So
Yeah.
like I had just started getting on the regimen, because I mean, it's not hard. They're the little gel caps you take, and
Yeah.
um, I
So
had
you
gotten
didn't.
my levels up, and when COVID hit, no problem.
Oh, all right, good. I was like, what do you think about the ivermectin stuff? Like the stuff that supposedly that in conjunction with like a Z-Pack and other stuff makes you better, but the media says it's like horse dewormer. And they,
So I feel like, yeah, you probably shouldn't take the veterinary ivermectin, but I have read stories where in other countries, and I thought it was Australia, that they were doing some studies on actual human medical grade ivermectin that just completely wiped out the symptoms, or whatever it was.
Supposedly, like hundreds of millions of people take it. Like it wasn't prescribed by a doctor, the human stuff, and it's fine. So yeah, so glad to see we're pretty much on the same page with most everything.
Yeah, and I'm not for or against, getting the vaccines. I mean, personally, I don't want to, because I think I have a natural immunity from having gotten it. I think I keep my vitamin levels, at a point where it's not going to damage me. I don't know what may or may not be in it, because there's a lot of different, theories or stories or anecdotal evidence or real evidence as to what might be in it. And I figure if I'm good, I'm good. If there's if there's a big plan, I'm gonna go when I'm gonna go. If I keep taking care of myself the way I have, there shouldn't be a problem. I think there's much bigger plans for TechOps. I think I'll be around for quite a while. I've got big things in store.
Yeah, I hope so too. So, what are your thoughts on Decepticons and technology taking over the world, like the singularity, like where artificial intelligence becomes so uncontrollable and it's smarter than us, because we've never had to deal with anything that's smarter than us before. I don't think. Maybe aliens, I don't know. How do you think we protect ourselves against AI? How do you think we would combat it if they do start to wage war on us?
Oh, so that's the singularity that we were talking about, not just like a black hole, right?
Yeah, no, singularity when technology, mostly artificial intelligence. Like I think the creators of Facebook and some other company did it where they had two artificial intelligence robots talking to each other, and then within 3 minutes they created a whole different language because English was too inefficient at speaking. So it was just a b b b a, and I forget what it was. I think Sophia, the artificial intelligent like doll, the one asked a question, something about humans and something about how like extinction and something like that. It was really weird. Like she didn't seem angry or mad about it. She just said, as a matter of fact, like, well, humans, something, extinction, and I forget what it was, but.
Well, I mean, maybe in Sophia's case, she did the calculations all the way to the end, and some, and at some point, you got to figure, with the data that Sophia had, that if there's nothing more than science and data and technology, then yeah, the human extinction it's there. I just feel like aliens are definitely going to intercede before anything like that happens to us. And in fact, I think I feel like the aliens will intercede before we even get close to that point.
Yeah.
But I've always been I've been a technology guy, for forever. So I would hope that. Okay, so in my career in the IT field, like I've had this thing where I go to fix a computer and literally all I have to do is be close to the computer and it starts working again. I mean, just, obviously there's the computers that do need fixed, but so many times it's beyond statistically odd where people were like, no, it was just not no, it's only because you're here that it's working now. So I feel like if there is a machine takeover, that I may have some influence there, or they may like me or whatever. So as long as I'm good.
That's so weird. Like, you ever read those glitch in the Matrix stories, which are basically some things like that, where they go and they say like, oh yeah, my car works just fine, or my car is crapping out until I take it to the mechanic and then it works just fine. Have you ever read those on Reddit, glitch in the Matrix stories?
I don't know if I've read necessarily the Reddit glitch in the Matrix stories, but I am a big believer in the power of intention and the law of attraction and the law of one and everything. And I do feel like if you have the intention, like say I was going to fix it, I intend to go and fix this computer, and it just fixes. If I intend for this, that, or the other, it's just going to happen, which is what I'm hoping with my current female situation. I intend to land, the ones that I want, and yeah, I think that'll go.
So I mean, for me, I don't think I could date maybe anyone under like 27, maybe like 25 if they've, college for 4 years and they've been working for a little while and they've lived life a little bit. That's cool. I don't, as long as they're a good person and they're nice and they just want what's best for the world, I guess age doesn't really matter. What's like
yes mm-hmm. and no, because my justification was, well, she's already had a couple kids, so it's not like I'm doing anything, but it didn't work out. Yeah.
I feel you. Me and my girlfriend don't want kids. I have not wanted them for a while. Just because I think that for me, it's kids can be, well, they make you very tired because you have to wake up every so often and you have to feed a daycare, and then just I don't know. I also feel like it can be a little expensive as well because they take time away from you and doing stuff. So.
This is true. I mean, I have 3 children myself and 2 grandchildren. Absolutely love the whole experience. I love having them. I love the grandbabies, and I can't wait for more grandbabies. But do I want more kids ever? Not myself. Never again. No. I'm done. I'm good. I went through that. Love the ones that I got, and I hope to have all of them, if not at least 1 or 2 of them, on the ops report at sometimes. You can see the amazing product of my efforts.
Of your loins.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I would. What do you feel about the technologies such as Illumina that can read your DNA, and then CRISPR that can change it, and how people can essentially almost play God? Like, nope, I want my kid to have this color eyes. I want to have this color hair. I want him to, or him or her to have this. Do you feel that we're like playing God, or do you feel like that's just the next step, man? Human evolution.
Definitely just the next step. I feel like there shouldn't be really any restrictions put on things like that, and I feel like they've probably been doing it in subversive ways for years, anyhow, for their own, like, I mean, look at Monsanto. That they've genetically engineered all of our crops. How do we know that some of the genetic engineering hasn't artificially induced gluten allergies, peanut allergies, changes to the DNA that cause the medical field to make all kinds more money nowadays than it used to? I mean, I don't know. I see my kids, and the fact that how did you get gluten allergies? Gluten allergies didn't exist when I was young.
Yeah, they definitely did not. I was thinking that I forget who it was, or I forget where, but it was like a long time ago. Like, I remember being like 10 years old or something, where I had read an article, and it was like in like it was in like a Newsday or whatever. It wasn't like politically leaning anywhere. It was just saying that because it was illegal to sell human organs, these scientists, what they did was, that because there's a lot of people on like the organ waiting list, and there's a lot of people that they die on that organ waiting list. They said, okay, well, a way around that might be to just say, let's inject some pig fetuses with human DNA. I think it was, and it was something that I think Bush actually outlawed. What are those things called that you get them from embryos? These embryonic cells or whatever they're called.
Okay,
but it's the one where Peter Griffin's like, why aren't we funding this? You know, after he had like a
stem
stroke.
cells? Are
Yeah,
you
stem
just
cells.
talking about stem cells?
Yeah, and Bush outlawed it because it's you can only take the stem cells from like already dead, whatever, or already abandoned.
At
But
that time, but I think stem cells are able to be grown from just skin cells
yeah.
at this point.
So what the scientists did, at least I think in the late 90s or early 2000s, they had taken those stem cells and injected them into pig fetuses, and then when those pigs grew up, because pigs are already pretty close to us DNA wise, but their organs were interchangeable with human organs. And
Okay.
I don't know if that was ever continued or not, but what if because we're very close to chimps and we're very close to, I think chimps are the closest ones. Aliens decided to say, hey, let's do an experiment. Let's give these chimps 1% or 1.5% of alien DNA, and that's how they made us. Because everything different about us has to come out of that 1 to 1.5%, because the rest of us is identical to chimps. So I'm thinking, like, what happens if they did that, and then what happens if aliens are as different from us as we are from the chimps, you know, in that direction, and they can just do like quantum mechanics in their head, like their toddlers, you know. I think that type of thing would. You think that's possible, or am I just going on like a drunken sugar high tangent?
No. I mean, I think we're both on the drunken whatever, but I like where it's going. No, if you've read any of the works of Zecharia Sitchin's and you know, the Anunnaki coming and you know, placing the humans here in order to, you know, collect gold for them and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
If you you know, take any of the stuff in the Bible literally, back when they said that people grew to live to 900 years old and whatnot, there is some scientific evidence that shows that the telomeres at the end of our DNA were actually placed there as like a fuse, like a timeline, something that would limit our lifespan. Yeah. Because, you know, if you're able to do things to keep your telomeres lengthened,
like vitamin D, that's one of the things that can keep them.
Your cells will continue to reproduce, and you will continue to, you know, have a youthful appearance or live longer or whatnot. But there was, and I saw like a fleeting article or watched you know, some small clip of where they were saying, no, they did some scientific research into it, and those telomeres, they shouldn't necessarily be there. It
So
almost is like it's genetically there so that our lifespan does not,
it
you know,
ends
just
at a
continue to
certain
go.
point. Oh
Right.
man, that I almost feel pissed off about that. Like, what if I wanted to live for 200 years? What if I wanted to?
Your creator did not want that to happen. Although you're living in a time where it's possible to reverse some of that, and maybe we're living you know, several years from now where they can absolutely make that not a problem anymore.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. That would be fantastic if we just are able to go and suddenly, instead of going, you know, living 70, 80 years, now we could live like 120, and then you know, like 60, 70 is like middle age. Like, oh yeah, I'm still going strong.
I mean,
Still
can
doing
you
it.
imagine if the stories from the living 900 years?
I don't. I mean, you'd see so much advancement in technology, which is really weird. That, let's say if somebody is 900 years old right now, how much did technology actually change from the year 1000 to the year like 1500? Like, big boats that can cross the ocean. I guess that was big.
No,
But
it's insane. Yeah, technology advances like
so quick now.
not just, well, yeah, as you are allowed to have technological advances, because there was the dark ages where, you know, anything like that was just, you know, shot down. You weren't allowed to have any technological advances. I guess that's why they called it the dark ages. But what is, okay, there's a particular term for it, but where the amount of transistors on a microchip doubles every
like
year
18
or
months
two.
or something like that.
Right. And there, so far, every time that they say, well, this has got to be the end right here. There's no way you could possibly make transistors even smaller. Every time they get to that point, they burst through that barrier, and there it is. I can't believe I can't think of what that's called. But anyhow.
Is that Moore's law?
Moore's law.
Yeah.
Yes, that's absolutely Moore's law.
Yeah. A miracle that came out of my head. I don't. So I think there's also something to be said about them having influences. I don't know if I was on mushrooms or I was on acid, but I was trying to clear my mind. Like I'm floating, like there's nothing. There's just blank. There's black. There's nothing. And I was just not. I was probably not even breathing. And then I just, oh, puppies, that's cute. Like I did not think of that. Like something else put that in my head. And I was having this guy, Zach Healy, who's a musician, on podcast the other day. And he said that in one of, I think, Paul McCartney's interviews or his, one of his biographies, he said that, like, not Let It Be. It was Yesterday, all my troubles, that one. He found that in a dream. Like it was in a dream. Like if you can remember your dreams, I can remember some details, but that came to him in a dream. He woke up and he wrote it down. Einstein had something similar, I think, about whatever it was. I think that also aliens might, or whatever our creators are, if we're in a simulation, if we're just computer code, that aliens or our creators, they go and they say, hey, this is a really good idea I have. Let me put it into the game via this avatar. Where I think that just because I think if this is a game, the person that's controlling me has an incredible amount of luck. Just put every type of luck into me. They had a really bad spawn start where they spawn as like this poor kid in Peru is like, oh, this kid's never. This sucks. I'm gonna put everything into luck, and then I just get lucky consistently.
Yeah, or maybe you're just not one of the NPCs, right?
It's possible. Do you ever feel like an NPC because you drive Uber and taking people to their?
Okay, here's the thing: is I've never felt like an NPC because when I hear stories of it, when people are asked, do you feel like you were put on this planet for something special, for some reason, and they're like, no. I'm like, what? How you? Yeah, no, absolutely.
Same.
I can't imagine not having the feeling that you're here for a particular reason, that you've got some greater purpose going on.
So what about you? Like, gun to your head, mic to the world. What are you, TechOps? What were you put on this earth for?
You know what? Okay, you asked me before the show, if there was any questions you should avoid, but no, I mean, no. Back, it was a long time. It was like 20 years ago, 25 years. I don't know, a long time ago. Like I went through kind of an episode where I, thought things that, were crazy, that, just wild stuff. What I'm getting at is I can't tell you.
Okay.
But something big, and that I feel like I'm moving along in the direction that I'm supposed to, and that we'll get there eventually. And when we get there, that's it, man. I'll unleash it, and everybody will be like, okay, all right, we got it.
And I guess, well, let me know what it is when I get down there, and I'll make sure I'll try to help you achieve that. For me, I have it's not the best contingency plan because my goal is conservation and animal welfare, and I have two people that I trust a lot that are they're just really warm, good-hearted people, and they were to, they're going to get a lot of what I have, if God forbid, like I die before I'm ever able to, go and achieve that. And there's that, like, their direction is just like animal conservation, and they're just going to have to do all the research for it. But do you have any contingency plans that, like, okay, if God forbid, do you have it written down somewhere, like what you want, how to achieve it? And is it like a Tony Stark helmet, like, hey, just in case, the worst should happen. Hey guys, love you 3000.
So 45 years old here, and the amount of things that I've been through, the absolutely insane situations that have happened. At this point, I believe I'm completely indestructible and unable to be, unalived.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't have any contingency plans because I think all the plans require me to be here. I think, I'll just keep driving forward, and we'll make things happen
Okay, good.
as they're supposed to in the timeline that they're supposed to happen in.
Good. I believe that too. I definitely want Star Helix. I haven't seen you in a while. I shout you out on every video. I'm renting out space on my fridge now. So everyone, check out Star Helix and Veve Vault on YouTube, and at Not Star Helix and at Hey David Don on Twitter. So I do those on my every single video. I guess as technology advances like a spiral, kind of like a golden ratio. There's this series of videos. The second one is the best. It's about plants, and I think plants Fibonacci sequence. It's not part 1 of 3, although it's by this channel called Vihart. And Vihart, on the second video, 9 years ago, it's about how each of the plants that they do, they have like a Fibonacci sequence to them. But the leaves are in such a perfect thing for each plant that it's like down to the decimal, taking like protractors and stuff. It's really, really cool.
As far as the golden ratio and everything goes?
I don't know if it's called the golden ratio, but what happens is that, again, it's like a 6-minute video. So this girl takes like a plant, and she takes like these and she takes protractors and measures everything. Like, they each get like a perfect amount of sunlight. Like, mathematically, there's no better way to go about it, because because each one gets the max amount of sun. And it's like for each plant like that, and goes in ways of 3, it goes in ways of whatever, but it's so cool to look at. And the first video is kind of like that, but it's the second one really goes into it. Just doodling in math class, spirals, just YouTube plants Fibonacci, it comes up.
Okay.
That's really cool.
Yeah, no, the whole Fibonacci sequence and the golden ratio is amazing. I want to like direct everybody to something that I watched that was super amazing. I can't even explain what it is. You kind of have to watch it, but it's a mathematician / I don't know if he's a scientist or whatnot, but he did a documentary called Black Hole, and Black Hole, as in WHOLE, has completely broken down mathematically. Randy, I've had so much of this, I can barely think anymore, man.
Okay, so Black Hole, and they break down what? I'll catch up.
All right. Let me see. I'm gonna have to do the Google search here.
Okay, you do the Google search while I catch my breath, because that was a big swing. Oh, that was good. Dude, you'd love my girlfriend. My girlfriend would love you too. This is better watch out. No, we talk because we talk like about the same things, and she would definitely she would have a good time with you. Did you Google? Did you get the thing?
Okay, so yeah, it's the guy's name is Nassim Haramein, and he's an absolute amazing. I don't know if he's like a theoretical physicist or whatnot, but the calculations that he's done, that that breaks everything. I don't know why I'm even going on to that, because my mind is blank as to what the actual documentary is about. It's just one of my favorite. If you ever want to watch somebody just do math for like an hour and be blown away by the calculations and what he comes up with out of it, you got to watch this. I think there's even it's available even on YouTube if you search for it correctly. So it's Nassim Haramein.
And it says Black Hole?
Black Hole, WHOLE.
That reminds me, again, I love that type of stuff. Like, especially when people are, when you wouldn't expect to be like blown away by it, or that you could watch it. Like, I forget what it's called, but these two guys, they're butchers, and all they do is each episode is them cutting meat for 45 minutes. And it's just like, you wouldn't expect, it's like they're cutting meat. Like, how long can you watch that? But it's so good the way
that could be fascinating. It absolutely fascinating.
It's like I get lost in it. It's like, oh my god, this is great. Question for both of us: have you ever read Necromancer? It's a cyberpunk dystopian novel.
Neuromancer.
Oh, it's Neuromancer. I'm a little drunk too.
Two totally different things.
Yeah. Everything in its world is part of our world today. Apparently, it's really good stuff. Cyberpunk dystopian now. Have you read it?
I haven't read it. Although I would like to say that 27 years ago, I played Cyberpunk in a Denny's for, like, I don't know, 9 hours at a time with some high school friends. And
nice.
Yeah, just amazing. All the things, not all the things, but there are several things that were just flights of fancy at that time that are complete total reality today.
Oh, that's cool. Skip Yell's asking, are you on Twitch today?
I think Skip, I've had so much to drink. I did not even expect to drink this whole bottle, but I'm pretty sure that the bottle's going to be gone before this episode's over. I did a lot of work. Okay, so let me throw out there. I'm gonna plug myself and everything. I've been working on the ops report. I love the thought of the ops report. I love the format of the ops report, where I get to show off my TikToks. I get to show off my friends, that are, saying welcome to the ops report. I get to show off my long credits at the very end of the show, where I get everybody. There's like 175 people in the credits. I think the ops report is a lot of fun. I think it's going to continue to be a lot of fun. I think as I get more comfortable and I get more people in there, it's just going to be great. Randy, I'm so happy to be doing this with you again. I was thinking today, I'm like, should we start like an additional Twitch stream where it's like Randy and TechOps,
just talking about crazy stuff all the time? Like, we should each research something really crazy like during that week prior, and then bring it to the table, and then that would be fun. Like, there was what you were talking about with that guy talking about, black hole, that doing math for an hour. There's this Neil deGrasse Tyson had on this panel of scientists, where one of the scientists had said, hey, the equations that we want to use to explain the universe, the fabric of time and being and space, are no different than the equations that that are computer code. And as Neil deGrasse Tyson said, like, wait a minute. He's like, no, not yet. The mind blowing has not yet been. Your mind has not yet been blown. It's a specific type of computer code that's used in like a Google search engine. And Neil deGrasse Tyson's like, you're telling me that we're in the Matrix? And this guy is scientist like, yeah, the equations that we want to use to explain the universe are the same type of specific computer code that's used in Google search engines. And Neil deGrasse Tyson's like, I'm done. I'm done for the rest of the night.
That's interesting, because I watched a lot of Neil deGrasse Tyson stuff, and I've watched where he got all not scared, but gave the impression that it was like we were living in a matrix. And then towards the end, he kind of was very dismissive of it, almost like he was like told, hey, look, don't don't actually tell people we're in the Matrix. But everything he said leading up to that point was like, oh man, we're totally in a computer simulation. What?
Yeah, it's Neil deGrasse Tyson freaks out when physicist James Gates finds intelligent code in the fabric of space. So it was made like it was years ago also, and it's only got 100,000 views. I guess it was re-uploaded because I didn't like this one, and I know I like the one that I watched beforehand. So I think maybe YouTube takes it down, like so they don't want us to know. That's some of my favorite stuff. Like, wonder what's in like the Vatican's secret library. I wonder what would have happened in an alternate timeline when we would have gone into Area 51, and people would have made it. Like, what would have? So curious. So curious.
Okay. Well, see, here's the thing: is there's always something that stops that, because there was a president, and I got to shout out Tech Pops there. He's saying the Randy and TechOps cocktail hour. I'm like, yeah. So there was actually a president. I can't remember whether it was it Truman, who was like, look, I want to know what's going in Area 51, and I'm going to bring the 10th Division of the Army in and figure it out if you guys don't tell me right now. Well, they told him, and he was like, oh, and decided not to invade Area 51 with the 10th Army Division.
What was this in a book? Was this in like interview?
I read so little books. Everything that I read is on a computer screen. So it was either a YouTube video, a TikTok, or something that I was just reading as an article on Reddit or something. But yeah, no, I mean, because there have been presidents that have had the desire to find out what's going on at Area 51. Some of them just aren't willing to go all the way, because apparently even Clinton wanted to get some information about that, and John Podesta had went and talked to Dr. Stephen Greer, and at some point they were just like, Dr. Stephen Greer, right?
I know the name. Like, you just said the name Greer, and I know the name. Remind me real quick.
Okay, so he did. Oh God, I'm drunk.
Stephen M. Greer. Oh, he's American ufologist, a UFOologist.
Yes.
Extraterrestrial. Okay, gotcha.
He's done 3 documentaries so far that are absolutely amazing. Let me see if I can bring them up here.
I see a bunch of them. UFO Chronicles, Thrive, Fast Walkers, Day Before Disclosure, Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind.
Okay, so Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind is amazing. Disclosures, I believe, is amazing. Let's see.
There's Serious. There's Unacknowledged.
Okay, Unacknowledged, Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, and the other one are all definitely worth watching. Amazing stuff going on. It's odd that a lot of the things that he talks about has to do with meditation and whatnot, being able to do so Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. Do you know what all the different close encounters are?
Well, I remember watching The Fourth Kind, and it was about. You seen that?
Yes.
That it was about those psychologists in Alaska with like 3,500 people, and like she's the only psychologist there, and a couple of her patients that don't know each other, they all start experiencing the same things, and it's real. It's so freaky. It's so freaky. Because it's basically like, and there's footage of it too. Like they have this like pretty girl reenacting who she was, and then they have the actual footage of this lady, and it's just, it's aliens. It's alien contact.
Right. So yeah, I mean, like there's I don't know what the necessarily order is, but being abducted is one. Just having a sighting is one of the encounters, and this, that, and the other. Well, the fifth kind is human initiated contact with aliens. And Dr. Stephen Greer takes people out like into the desert, and he'll have like, I don't know, 30, 40 people where they do a meditation session. And this is actually all filmed within his documentary, Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. He'll do the meditation session, and they will actually, everybody has cameras. There's cameras set up all over the place. After they do the meditation, after they, do these very specific protocols that he has set up, they'll get, the lights in the sky that are definitely, there to watch them. They've filmed actual entities that were, 20, 30 yards away after they've done their whole protocol setup and whatnot. He's supposedly been taken to an alien spaceship. There are things that if people just did these things, there's even an app on the phone for the CE5, where you can, hook up with other people. And if you want to do a CE5 protocol and go out and have your own thing, people will do this for you. I mean, it's pretty interesting because it's very structured. They have proof of it in the documentaries that it works. And it would be nice to see if you could just initiate this anytime.
So I have to go definitely watch a bunch of these. I have to definitely go and because I love that type of stuff. And maybe the aliens can say like, hey, are we computer code? And like, because I even had a dream the other night saying just like, I was looking at the sky and the sky was like glass. Like it was each line was symmetrically put in, and it was just almost like it was. And again, I'm looking into space, and it's almost like in Hunger Games where it's like almost animated, and you shoot an arrow when there's lightning, and then you can erase it. It just seems really weird. Like maybe we're an experiment. I don't know.
So what do you think about that? What do you think about the term the firmament? In the Bible it considers space the firmament, and I've recently seen a lot of videos of where they're saying that we're in a dome. There's NASA astronauts that say, well, currently we can only go into low Earth orbit. It's almost like they're slipping up and saying that we've actually never been to the moon and that we can't go further than low Earth orbit.
Yeah, I just Googled it, and for those of you that's all we can go. We can't go up past the firmament, and I guess there's chambers of heaven. I don't know.
So I've seen videos where they'll shoot rockets up, not just NASA rockets, which I've seen explode once they get to a certain point there, but other people who have, civilians who have sent rockets up. They shoot this rocket up, it's going, and then it hits something. And it stops. Like, it's doing the whole full spin, going up, hits something, just stops the spin, stops everything, and starts falling down to the ground at that point. Is there something firm up there that could possibly stop a solid rocket booster powered,
I mean, there might be, but it might not even have to be. If you have enough magnetic force, take the metal in the rocket and just propel it down, no matter how fast it's going. That I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud here.
Yeah, it's not like even a gradual stop. It's like it's spinning like this, and then all of a sudden,
magnets, or maybe compute somehow, like quantum computer hacking to get into the system to mess up the GPS coordinates and have it freak out beforehand. Hydrate.
Yes, thanks, Grillmaster.
Yeah, thanks, Grillmaster. We heart you. Yeah, so I don't know about firmament. I've always just assumed that we've gone to the moon, even though that I've seen those videos where this one astronaut's like really, really like hunched over, like he went to pick up something and he's falling, but then as he's falling, he just like he's almost like he's on a string and someone brings him back up. Now, again, things can obviously work differently. Maybe his one single toe can do that because you weigh so much less on the moon, and maybe that's how it seemed like he
You know,
But
I've seen some weird stuff that makes it look like a lot of the NASA astronaut videos it's just all green screen effects. I've seen where like they move in a certain direction and then like half of their head like disappears like I've seen half of my head disappear when I'm doing my green screen effects, which
yeah,
by the way, dude, I have not done any effects tonight. I mean, I have all kinds of things that I had set up.
somebody
I mean,
screenshot that, please. Somebody send that to me. That'd be
do you
great.
think that's it? Do you think this is all I have, Randy? I have laser eyes, man.
Oh, Superman. Oh.
What else do I got? My favorite game was Skyrim, of course.
Oh, nice. I love those memes where it's like at the end of your life, you're, oh my God, that is some heterochromia death type of thing. But I love those memes where it's like you're at the end of your life, you're on your deathbed telling your loved ones goodbye. And then the next scene you wake up, it's like, oh, good, you're finally awake. And you're in Skyrim. Like you die and then you go to that sky.
Yes, the Dark Harvester pulled that one on us once. He was like, I don't know if you remember, but he had put out some kind of video where he was in Antarctica and he kept zooming. You know, he's like, I found something in Earth 2 that's crazy. Look, you know, and we're like, okay, this is amazing. And then he goes to the Skyrim opening scene and it's like, oh God, I can't believe I fell for that.
Yeah, so some people are really good trolls. They're really good like that. Like there was one person that went and they had made like almost like a little like story of like how like humans came to be in Earth 2, and like there was a bunch of us that were agriculture people, and like and you know I was leading like the snow Vikings in Antarctica. I was like, oh, that's really fun. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So
hey,
Brady,
I want to plug a couple things.
Yeah.
Just because you know, before this is completely gone.
Yes, of course. What go on?
So all right. So I have some screen sharing to do here. Oh, is this it? Okay. Do you know you remember Luke G. Dahl, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay. He opened up a new cryptocurrency called TechWays Bank. I haven't been able to mention it on, you know, the ops report or anything yet, but I went ahead and I picked up, you know, I spent some of my other crypto to get into TechWays. It's twbank.io. Luke G. Dahl has completely supported all of us, right?
Yeah.
I know I've seen him, you know, throw money your way. He's thrown money Guidebook Gaming's way. I miss Luke G. Dahl. I haven't seen him for quite a while, but obviously this is what's going on. He's created a whole new cryptocurrency. I went ahead and I bought some of it just because, you know, I hope it works out for him. It seems like he has a real plan going. And you know everything else that he's done, right? He is actually
he's an author, Luke G. Dahl.
Best-selling author.
Yeah, and he's been on my Patreon for 10 months now. So yeah, he's very, very smart. We should get him on the channel. We should get him on the podcast.
Oh yeah, that would be.
So I have to look into it, but he's a good dude. Like I said, he supports us. I would like to think that anything that he does, definitely at the very minimum, has the best intentions. Yes. And I'd love to learn more about it.
Yeah, with the books that he's published and the topics of the books has to do with, you know, combating sex trafficking and whatnot. Yeah. I would have to believe that this is all in an effort to, you know, make the world a better place. And super happy that I found this. He posted on his Facebook. I pulled immediately as soon as I saw it. I was like, "That you got my money, Luke." All right.
Yeah.
What else do I got? Then of course the ops report. I want to make sure anybody watching goes and checks out twitch.tv/King TechOps, you know, and just give me a follow there. I'm gonna refresh and see if anybody has.
Send me your link, and I'll have it in my description for all my videos from now on. I should have done it beforehand. I just didn't.
No problem. And then the final thing I want to plug is I hit 100,000 essence yesterday.
You did it. Oh, good for you, mate.
100,000. Oh man. And that's it for my screen sharing. So there we go. All right.
All right. Good stuff. I did not. I think I have like maybe 15,000 essence in Earth 2. But that's one of the things that you mentioned with the combating sex trafficking. 18,000. All right, I got it. Is that I wish that there would be, the troops that are coming home from Afghanistan. I wish there would be a president that would go and say, hey, you know what? We have some problems in within the U.S. borders. There is human and sex trafficking going on in all the big cities like L.A. and New York and Miami and Chicago. Let's take our military and let's just go after it. Let's just go and just heck everybody up. And there hasn't been, and like everybody knows that this stuff goes on. There's movies made about it. There's documentaries made about it. Like, and let's just say that most cops are good cops, and that unfortunately sometimes that they're part of a system where it's like, well, I can't say that, or my life is going to be ruined. I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to lose this. Maybe my family might get in danger, and like whatever. I think that kind of takes away, or I think that's a way to get around this good person is not saying anything out of fear of financial ruin and whatever. Where the military or a president can go and say like, hey, we're going to do that, and we're going to end human trafficking. This is how we're going to do it. That would be like if Chavez becomes president one day, if they ever say that foreign-born citizens can come be president, that's one thing that I would like to do. Going back to, I think we talked about Truman. I think it was Roosevelt. One of the presidents, there was like this lost boy in like one of the national parks or whatever, or in like the woods, and this president wanted to put like Green Berets out to like find him, and it just didn't work. It just I don't know why. I think the Secret Service told him to stand down, but part of the reason that he had made a bunch of these national parks with park agencies and park rangers is because that there were these stories about skinwalkers. And do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I was actually pointing at Snoke hopping into the chat here. Like, what's up, Snoke?
My man. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting. I thought that was really cool.
So yeah, Skinwalker Ranch and everything. I haven't actually done a whole lot of research on that because that it delves into like seeming scary.
Yeah, and that's why I was curious to see if you had anything go on in near the Indian reservations near you, because I know Arizona has a lot of them. And I was reading on Reddit, this one truck driver had a like someone that's worldly enough to be able to tell that's driven all over the country, the difference between like the yelping of like coyotes and the yelping of other things versus like hearing like a banshee, hearing like something scream in the middle of the night where there's no one and nothing around, and he's just like, no. So like because of that, he never stops in reservations anymore. He never stops.
Really?
Yeah, he always drives straight through because it's just there's something that's there that maybe the U.S. government's like, okay, well, let's give him this land because it's haunted AF, and let's keep on. So yeah, that is.
It's weird because years ago, before I had my whole change in mindset, I would think, well, it's never happened to me, so it doesn't exist, but after I've had my multiple enlightening experiences and realize now that there's way more that exists, that it doesn't matter if I've seen it, so I'm open to those particular types of things potentially happening. But yeah, I have never had anything scary, like a scary ghost or a skinwalker or some weird alien being contacting me. And I think that's part of the things that I've got my unspoken. I don't want to mention. I feel I'm protected. I feel like I have something that surrounds me that makes sure that none of those things could possibly ever even get close to me. So, but
You ever hear of quantum immortality?
yes.
I believe I have that too.
Really? Okay. Yes. Quantum immortality. I think the other term for it is quantum suicide.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, where there's absolutely no way, even if you tried to kill yourself, you would just end up in a different quantum realm or a different quantum reality that you're, able to keep going on.
Yeah.
I've tried to explain that before on other various shows, but yeah, quantum immortality.
Why I think I have it is because there was this dream I had where I was in like a shootout and I didn't have a gun. I was just in my car, in my like Honda Civic, in my car. I was like, but it was getting like carjacked, and there was like bullets flying from each side. But he wanted my car. I was like, okay. And then the dude that wants my car gets shot, and I was like, oh well, his gun. All right, let me go and grab his gun. And then this other dude comes up to me, like as I'm grabbing the gun, I was like, oh no. And then I wake up. So I'm thinking like, okay, that was definitely me in another life or me in another universe, whatever, that didn't survive. And I moved to this life right here. And suddenly I have these, I guess it was similar enough to where my memories are mostly the same, outside of like the Berenstein Bears theory and the who's the dude that died in prison but didn't die, the Mandela effect.
The Mandela effect, yeah.
So I do believe I have that as well.
So it's interesting that you go with the dreams showing you that you have the quantum immortality, whereas like when I was much younger, okay, I've had way too many guns pointed at my head to have possibly made it through to being a 45-year-old man here.
Wow.
And I feel like there's just there's no way I should be here. But here I am.
Yeah. A buddy of mine that I went to tech school with in the military, we just got to talking one day, and he's just like, "Yeah, I'm luckier than I should have been. Like, there's just something is watching out for you." And he's just like, "Yeah, there's no way I should have survived any of this." And I was like, "That's gotta be something that is like coded into like our avatars, or it's just someone is playing God. Like they're saying, like, nope, this is gonna happen. They're playing a video game and they have that auto save button. This didn't work. We're going to rework this. And it just almost mathematically seems impossible.
Yeah. I don't understand people that have had a boring life. Just the amount of things that have gone on in my life, and I'm sure your own, that unexplicable. Absolutely, just amazing things that I have a hard time sometimes even finding people to relate to, that are like, oh yeah, that's happened to me, because so many unique experiences, and actually things that I used to tell stories about from my younger years, I just stopped telling stories about, because they're just unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable, and yeah, I didn't want people to think I was lying, even though it was complete truth. So,
what's one of like the craziest ones, if you don't mind sharing?
I may mind sharing because my parents are watching.
That is 100% okay. Yeah. Brandon says, "Don't mention the pyramids while Milham is here. They're the thing that absolutely leave him needing to know the answers of." What is something that you maybe don't know that you're just like, I need to know before I die? I don't care what happens, but I need to know before I
die. Yeah, that's kind of interesting, because I feel like I don't have that that excited need to know what's going to happen, because obviously with the quantum immortality, it's going to happen when it's going to happen.
Find out eventually
at the proper time. Yeah.
Now, do you ever think that, well, maybe so many of you yourselves, I know it's quantum and it's, I guess infinite. But do you ever think like, maybe like a cat, like maybe, out of the 9 lives or 100 different lives, like maybe I only have a few left. Maybe I should cool it down. Do you ever think about slowing down? Do you ever think, or just like, nah, man, just keep pushing forward?
Yeah. At this point, 45 years of doing some ridiculous stuff, sometimes trying to be safe and whatnot, I feel almost as if, I could do whatever I feel like doing. And it may be judgment related at this point in my life where I've done all the things that are bad. So I know what I can do, what I can't do. But I just keep going forward. Like when I put the intention out there for something that I want to do, and I feel it's right, I just feel like there's no way it can go wrong, and it works out every time.
Okay, good.
I've made it past those horrible times in my younger life where it's just been like, things don't work out. Well, you need to learn those lessons when you're young. You have to learn those lessons before you can get to a point where you can put it on cruise control. Not that I'm done learning lessons, because I think this whole life is about learning lessons, but I'm into the fun lessons now as opposed to the painful, horrible lessons that I learned before.
Yeah, you got to go through it. Got to go through the bad stuff to get to the good stuff.
Yeah.
Mike says that there's some are not aliens, some are demons, and I have this one experience, which I don't know if I don't think I've mentioned on Guidebook Game. I probably mentioned on my channel a couple times that there was this. I was in Huntington, Long Island, so I'm south now in Massapequa, but I was on the north part of the island, a place called Huntington, and my mattress was against the wall. Like so in order to get to my place, you had to go up these red stairs to get to like the first floor, and then you had to go up the stairs again to get to where my room was. And so it's maybe someone that did like parkour or whatever could go and maybe get up there, but my bed was against the window where maybe you need like a ladder to be able to stand up there. I had sleep paralysis. So there's nothing but air like to the back of me, and I had sleep paralysis. And for those of you that don't know what that is, it's when your eyes and your mind kind of wake up, but your body doesn't, and you can't move. Still thinks you're sleeping. And I was being like a little girl about it. I was like whining. I was like, no, stop. And then I remembered, like, wait a minute. I'm Randy heckin' Chavez. I could just I could just muscle out of this and go Super Saiyan, go, Yeah. And then as I was like about to do that, like I was gearing up, there was a voice it was not mine. I was not doing this, but it came out of me. And it was a line of dialogue from Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, and it was the Death King, or the King of the Dead.
Okay.
And he said the line, "Who dares enter my domain?" And then suddenly I was released from the sleep paralysis. And I was like, all right, it sounded like it came from me, and I was like, there's nothing. I look out the window like, oh my God, who said that? And I've never known what to make of it. Did like a demon possess me for like 3 seconds so I could say that? Or I don't like. I was sleeping, so I wasn't drunk. I wasn't like on any drugs. I wasn't doing. It was just so weird. I don't know what to make of it.
I've never had sleep paralysis, so I don't know what it actually feels like. I've known people that have had it, so I mean, I believe it's something that does happen. Moon. Thanks, Moon. Hey, guess who just showed up in the chat? It's Fraser Danger.
Fraser Danger. Howdy.
As Fraser Danger shows up, like I had clicked on my Discord, and I'm looking at his weak ass excuses to try and get out of coming on the ops report with me.
Oh.
No. I think Sunday and Monday, he's totally fine. Fraser, I can work with you at whatever time. I just believe that the conversation that we might have on the ops report could be epic.
Yeah, I think what would we call it? Would we just me and my friend Phillips, we had this. We had like 3 episodes of this thing called Buzz Talks or Buzz Talks, where we would get buzzed and we would talk about stuff. And they were really controversial things. But the good thing about it is that I'm a minority. I'm Spanish or Peruvian, and he is half black, half white. So I think we had like a unique, at least a little, like we could say certain things that maybe, you know, white people couldn't say. And it was interesting. Right? Sleeper House is terrifying. It is. Thank you for that super chat. It is very, very terrifying. So what if we do make something? What would the name be? For like a weekly.
Whew. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm on the spot because you know, this has been so much fun, and it was literally like a spontaneous, like, oh my God, we got to do this now.
Yeah, this is great.
But yeah, no, because I have two different channels. I have the King TechOps channel, and then I have the E2 Alliance channel that I haven't done anything with. But yeah, we could always create an additional channel for
okay.
chat.
I have a Twitch channel that I don't use. Maybe I should. So somebody asked me before, why don't I stream on Twitch and YouTube at the same time? I guess you can do that. I've never tried.
Yeah, and I've seen people do it. I don't know. Twitch is just amazing because I mean, obviously YouTube has worked out very well for you. I've watched so many of your live streams where, you know, people are throwing you cash all over the place. But Twitch itself is amazing because, you know, with the subscriptions and the bits and everything, it's a very good moneymaker there as well.
Yeah, and but the issue, well, not really the issue, is just I feel that with YouTube, people don't really pay me for the subscription or anything. I could make as much or as little content as I want. Now, I think I've actually gone. I haven't done it as consecutively as you guys, but I do stream pretty much every day. But even though that you guys have streamed, at least Guidebook Gaming has done the streaming for almost a year.
Oh yeah, because obviously TechOps himself is horrible about going live every day. I mean, I'm like so inconsistent, but I'd love to get back to it though.
Yeah, Susstream. Susstream. Oh, I guess that we're suspect of. Okay, that'd be kind of cool.
When this is gone, we have to end. All right.
No, someone. I'll give you some of mine. There is a. But with I do make, kind of think, there are some days where I'm live and making content for like 6 hours plus. So people definitely, if I do that with both Twitch and YouTube, they'll get their money's worth.
Okay, see, you're making content and my making content are two totally different things. I sit here behind my computer screen for hours, like clipping things together or listening to TikTok sounds and trying to determine what would be a good TikTok video that I could then clip into a video into the ops report. And you're just like, hey, I'm gonna go live and make content.
Yeah. I guess people resonate with it because there's a couple of people that have commented recently. They're so funny. It's like, listen, Chavez, when I first saw you, when I first got to this channel, I just immediately just like clicked away. I was turned off by like your unprofessional background. It's just a fridge and it's just this. And it's like, but I came back because, you know, you were just always making stuff, and sometimes people weren't covering it because most other people have day jobs. And he's like, you know what, you're a real dude. I was like, thanks, man. Right. And I think people just they like the candidacy, the candidness of it, where like some people like they go and they have emulators, or they have auto clickers where I just use my phone. It's like, all right, here we go, guys, here we go.
You know, which is crazy because you see how much fun I have with green screens and with snap filters and with everything else. I mean, I know that you do need a full nice gaming computer and a really nice expensive camera and everything to make everything as awesome, you know, as it can be with this. But yeah, have you ever thought about you know, how amazing things would be with a green screen? And
well, what I will do is when I actually do get a computer, I will probably do that with Twitch. So probably January, maybe February, the latest. That's something that I would do.
That's not far away, man.
Yeah, I know it's close. So maybe I'll do that at the turn of the year, the turn of the tide, as Gandalf says. Maybe I could do that. It just that's great. You're
Whoa.
censored. So predict who's up in Canada. Me and Arya Realty, we're going to talk about going to see her and doing maybe like a live stream with her. Because for a couple of reasons. One, because she like we love her, and two, because she's a psychic. Like the Predict My Future is actually the name of like her. Either she's a psychic or she has psychics working for her. What we want to do is we want to go there and we want to like get like our palms, like whatever it is that they do. I don't know if palm reading's like legit or if that's whatever. Whatever it is that she's ready to do. You want to come?
Yeah. I have to. If you're gonna go see Predict, I love Predict.
Yeah,
right? I mean,
great.
If I have to fly from Arizona to Canada or whatever, or like fly to where you guys are at so I can ride with you, yeah, absolutely. There's no way I can miss seeing Predict.
Oh, dude, that'd be great if you flew into like Philly or New Jersey or New York, and then Arya Realty just drives us up there because he's got the Tesla, so we could just ride in style.
Nice.
That'd be great.
Nice.
But the reason I just brought that up was because I see Smooches has a 300-acre insane asylum from the 1880s across the street from her house. So we got to go there. We got to go and see that.
Yeah.
That is, oh my God, that I would love to ghost hunt with you guys. That'd be great. You got to bring a bunch of salt and iron, and I've seen enough Supernatural where I think I can go with some holy water and it'll be fine.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Randy, we've been doing this for 2 hours and 10 minutes. How do we end this? We're going to use up all of our good content if we.
Okay. So we can end this by topic hours. Topic hours at Randy and TechOps. Stream. So I don't know. I guess the good way to try to think about this would be. Well, I've already asked you about the. Should we leave it as an air of mystery? Like, there's an episode of SpongeBob where they're going about like, oh, you want to work for the Krusty Krab? This is what you need to do. And it's like an 11-minute video of like trying to, newcomers find to a Krusty Krab. It's like, okay, so here's the last thing you need to know about working for the Krusty Krab. And it's like the Krabby Patty secret formula. Commercial. So
you're saying we just cut it off.
At some point, I definitely don't want to keep you. You got a bunch of other stuff going on. Maybe you could just stream tonight on your Twitch channel. I don't know. Maybe you're just gonna take a nap.
I think so. I think I don't think I've drank this much in ever.
So, do you have a specific night where you're just like, you know what? There's gonna be there's no Uber. There's no going out. I'm gonna stay at home. Like, I'll do that with you if you want to do every like Thursday night or something, or every.
You know what's the nice thing about my schedule is I have literally no schedule, and it's when I find time to do things, then I just get to do them. So, and I believe being retired yourself, I'm not sure I consider myself retired, but I'm pretty close to whatever it is that you consider to be retired. So. Yeah, anytime. Yeah, I like the whole idea of me going to the liquor store and picking up another bottle of Fireball and just having fun with Randy for another 2 hours.
Oh, that'd be great. So yeah,
leave it on a cliffhanger.
Yeah. So I mean, if you want to just make an appearance, we're having an Earth 2/VV giveaway on Sunday the 24th, and I just hang in the comments or maybe you want to I mean, just that's the next time we'll probably see it in the comments. But I guess we'll talk off chat or off live stream about when we're gonna meet next, and then we'll catch everyone later, and we'll everyone say bye-bye, Dashy. Say bye-bye, Dashy.
All right, bye, Dashy.
Oh, there was one other story I had to tell you when we were talking about insane asylum. So in the military, Ed McGuire Air Force Base, there's an abandoned hospital